Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my car vlog once again. Hey, you guys know Coachella's been going on, and if you're not in an area that has it going on and you're really into that music, if you go to Sirius channel 29, they are playing Coachella. They are playing the live concert. It has been going on for, I've been listening to it now for about 4 days. They've just skipped around. Right now they're playing The Weeknd. They had Post Malone on. Cardi B was on. Really, really cool to be able to basically not have to go brave the heat, not have to spend the money to go, but be able to watch the concert, or not watch, but listen to the concert. Because, I mean, it's all about the music, right? I mean, I'm into some of the music. I'm not really The Weeknd fan. I love Cardi B. I'm a big Cardi B fan, yes. I'm into the old, I like the old 80s music, and when I say this, you guys are probably going to laugh. I love NWA. NWA, gods, you know, like, oh my god, I can't even think. Vanilla Ice I used to listen to, which isn't like, he's like rap but not rap, you know, kind of. I used to listen to all that like 80s, the early rap. I remember, like, God, my favorite song back in the 80s, and you guys are going to feel old if you know this one, is there was a song, Roxanne, Roxanne, and it was about this girl Roxanne, and this group made it, this guy group made it. And talking about, they met her at a party, they wanted like all date her, and they all hit on her, and she all, you know, this and that, and they dissed her. So she comes out with the real, Roxanne, the real Roxanne, and she does a like diss on them, and then there's like a fake Roxanne that pop. It's hilarious. It was like a whole little thing. You can actually look it up. It's a 80s rap song called Roxanne, Roxanne. But I used to love that song. I literally had my car speakers in the back of my car hooked to my radio. I mean, this was like early 80s, like wannabe, you know, loud music in the car. Didn't care if it sounded good. It just had to be loud enough that 3 cars away they could hear you. And you were cool. You were cool. Too cool for school. Oh, God. But I hope everybody's been having a nice, kind of good weather. It's been kind of weird here. It was 90 degrees yesterday, and the day before it was 40 degrees at night. That's why I don't like Florida. I love cold weather. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love cold weather, but I hate to sweat. I go through so much deodorant and antiperspirant sprays and spritz sprays, and I learned this new thing. You know when a towel is like barely damp, but it's like cold damp, like you dried your hands on it, and a couple hours later you went back and the towel has been in your air-conditioned house, and it's not wet, but it's just like cold damp. That is my favorite thing. Like when I walk out of the house, that's the last thing I do, is I take that towel and I just press it. I press it on my skin, and I don't know why, I just think it kind of like settles down that powdery kind of look to my skin. It just, to me, helps really kind of blur things and just kind of set things in. Kind of that little oomph. If you do it too much, you're going to pull makeup off. So, it's just something I've done over the years. I'm one of these. I am a total water baby. I was a synchronized swimmer in high school. And, well, before high school, I started synchronized swimming when I was like 10, and I quit when I got mono in high school, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Mono is something really hard to come back from, and I actually wound up with liver damage from it because I had mono for, usually most people have mono like 8 weeks, you know, 3 months, you know. Worst case scenario, you might have it for like 5-6 months max, you know, but you're not like deathly ill. Well, I kept going back to school. Every time hello. I hate when that blurs. Anyway, I would start to feel better, and I would go to school. Like, get up and run my ass to school. So, I'm trying to block the sun. It's causing this thing to blur. Screw it. But, I was one of these kids that was really hard to keep from, you know, home from school, because I was in marching band, I had synchronized swimming going on, I was very active in school, I absolutely loved it, besides math class, which I never will forget. There was this kid, his name was Joe, his last name was Blewett. Yes, Joe Blewett. And our math teacher used to screw with this kid all the time. Joe, you blew it again. Oh my God, I need to look that kid up. That's so funny, Joe Blewett. That's so funny. You know, the people you think about. I have friends that I have been actual friends with since I was like 13, 12. My oldest friend, my God, I mean, this is going back to like 81, in 1980. I think I met her at a birthday party for another friend that I couldn't stand, nor could she, but it was at a good restaurant, and you know, it was a private school. It was very private school. It was a very tiny school. I think there was like 8 people in my class, and I only went there for like 2 years, and then the school burnt down. It was a great school, and it was costing my mom a fortune. I felt so bad, but I absolutely loved the school. But we had moved from Ohio to Miami, and when you move from up north to down south, their school is completely different. And when I say different, they were 3 grades behind me. So they put me in public school, because I went to public school up north in Ohio. And they put me in public school, and I got so bored. I started acting up. I was like, literally, you could see my house from the school. I was that close, walking distance. I would just go in the front door and out the back door and hang out in my backyard. Nobody even knew I was there. That's how much I hated that school. It was like, I was doing things that I did 3 years before, so why, you know, and I just, you know, as a kid, you don't understand that stuff, you know, you're like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. So I walked right out the back door. Well, I finally got caught, and my mom looked into schools, and she found one that had a curriculum that went by, they tested you before you went there, and they dealt with kids that were above and below whatever the norm they called it was. And it was cool because I sucked in math. I was always behind in math, so I went in a lower math class, but I was in the higher classes of everything else, which was funny because all the screw-ups were in the lower classes. And I absolutely hated that math class because these kids were just like, the teacher would walk out of the rooms to do whatever, and they had this thing where they would turn the lights off and start throwing books at each other. It's total random. I had never in my life. Here I am, this little girl that I had moved here from Ohio, from a school. I went to school with Pete Rose Jr. I went to school with Petey, or as they call repeat. Here I moved down into a public school, or I mean a school in Miami where like these kids, I mean, and I went to Catholic school for a while even up north, but kids were well behaved up there. What the hell was this? Throwing books? I was terrified. They'd turn the lights off, I'd run out the door. As soon as the lights would go off, man, as soon as that teacher was out that door, I was already, my butt was off that seat, and I was halfway to that door. Just totally random. You know, some of the things, and this was in, God, this was in 7th grade. 6th or 7th, maybe, no, it wasn't 7th grade. It's probably 5th grade. 5th, 6th, I don't know, it was between 5th and 7th grade, I'll tell you that. Anyway, that school burned down, and I wound up back in public school, and that was horrible because they were so far behind, and my mom was going to school, she had went back in her 40s to get a career. She had been a bartender, car salesman, sold houses. She wanted to do something in the medical field, and she got into respiratory therapy, and we moved back in, well, we moved down to Miami. We moved in with my grandmother, and that's the whole reason why we went to Miami, is my mom wanted to go to school, and it would just be easier for us to stay with my grandmother. Bills would be so much cheaper and whatnot, you know, and my mom was the first one to go to college in our family, in our immediate family, which was like, it was a big thing. And you know, I come from a very big Navy family. My grandfather was in the Navy. He was a CV, and And if it kills me every time I hear Subway say they made the first submarine sandwich. They did not. You can look this up. I have a newspaper from, like, God, I couldn't even tell you what year, of my grandfather making what he called the CB sandwich. It was on a long bread, a submarine roll, and he would take the ends of the meat, because he was a cook. He would take the ends of the meat and cut them up with pickle. It was bologna, pickle, and cheese and mustard, and he would put them on there and make them for the guys, you know, that if you've ever been in the military, it's like you're always hungry. Everybody I've ever heard is like, we're always hungry, we don't get enough food. They would make that. So, and it became a big thing called the CB sandwich. And one of his mates in the Navy wanted to actually open a restaurant, and that was like one of the things that they were going to do, is that CB sandwich was going to be the big thing. My grandfather didn't want to do it. He did not want to do it. He actually opened a little family grocery store, kind of like what 7-Elevens are now, but just a single one. A little family-owned grocery store. It was a little neighborhood grocery store, and they had a meat counter, and he would slice meat, and my grandmother would cook different hot foods, you know, and different things that they would sell there. And then they had, you know, sodas, milk, and candy, and they had the stringer up top with all these things hanging on it. They were toys, and I could always go in and pick one. God, the days. That was like in the way early 70s. That was probably 72 that my fondest memories, because my grandfather died. I was 10 years old. That's why we relocated to Miami. My grandmother she lost her mom, and she lost her husband, and she wanted to go be close to her brother, and he lived in Miami. But going back to the CB sandwich, you can actually look it up. His name is Harry Kellinghouse, and he was known for the CB sandwich. He's actually, if I can find a picture of the newspaper, I'll put it as my thumbnail. And that'll be I'll do clickbait. How about that? Let's do clickbait. You know, I'm watching all these YouTubers, and I want to do a video called YouTubers Made Me Do This. One of the things is, one, make my eyebrows way too dark, too defined, to, you know, try every possible foundation there is to get the perfect skin. Sorry guys, I'm hitting all kinds of bumps here. I got this new thing, and it's pretty good as far as stabilization. It works with my phone real well, but when I go over railroad tracks like that, it doesn't like it at all. But anyway, I love having these little talks. I almost feel like I have a friend in the car, and I'm just kind of shooting the shit, you know? And a lot of my regular viewers, a lot of you guys are just so great, man. I forget who made the comment. I have a terrible memory. Please forgive me, because I do remember each and every one of you, and I remember your comments. They really just resonate with me. This one comment, and there was a couple comments underneath here, talking about how people were giving me a hard time, and me having to explain myself, and how I'm such a strong person. That just kind of like, I'm starting to tear up, man. That just like, that really gets to me, because I've always been the person that, with my friends, I've always been the person that always held things together. I'm always the person that they go to for advice. I'm always the person that, because they know I don't lie. Why lie, man? Why am I going to lie to you, dude? I mean, what am I going to get out of it? I have a guilty freaking conscience. If I lie to you, I'm going to feel like shit. You know? And I can't do that. You know, I try to do everything I can to help people, and that's a lot of the reason why I wanted to start this channel. It really, and I was talking to somebody about this. I was talking to my masseuse, and I want to say hi to her, because she watches my video, and I want to say hi to her little girl. I sent her little girl home a My Little Pony palette, and I hope you like it, and I hope you like the makeup that I sent you. And thank you for watching. I really hope that you grow up to be as beautiful and as sweet as your mommy. Because your mom is just really cool. I love your mom to death. My back absolutely loves her. And no, I'm not sore. That woman, I'll tell you, works my back like crazy. And I don't get sore, but I think it's like nerve problems that I have. But anywho, I've always been the one with my friends, you know, to help out. And I was telling the girl, my masseuse, about this, that, you know, the real reason why I started this channel is I got tired of chasing that perfect skin, that perfect look, that you know, chasing that that I want to be the perfect that I can be look, you know, and that, just like the video I did, there's no miracle pill, there's no miracle foundation, there's no miracle serum, you know, it is what it is. And you know what, and I have really, as you guys just saw, I did a skincare video, and I have really simplified my skincare, because my skin honestly does way better when I don't put a lot of shit on it, or chemicals and this and that, and I have really just simplified it. I absolutely love the Tatcha products. They are a little pricey, but the one thing with Tatcha, they give you a lot and you only use a little. If you look at, if you ever seen her like moisturizer, it comes with that little gold spoon, and it's a little tiny spoon. That is all you use of her moisturizer, and you get a big jar like this. I mean, honestly, that should last you like a year. Oh, there's people working on the road. I hate when they do that. They drive like idiots around here. I'm always afraid somebody's gonna get hit. But I mean, honestly, that should last you. I have a jar that I bought and I've been using for 6 months, 8 months, and it's not even, it's right above halfway. So, if you're following the directions on this stuff, it should last you. The other item that I've been using is that, the Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle, and it says on it that you see results within a week, and you do. When I stick to using it, especially this right here, this is the part that bothers me the worst, that patch right there. And I have 2 real deep scars, like real deep. It looks almost like somebody punched holes in my mouth, and I don't know. I woke up from surgery and those were there when I had surgery. You see them right there and right there. I don't know why. I think it's when they did oh, I don't even want to think about it. When I had the surgery on my jaw and everything, it's horrible. I wouldn't wish getting hit by a car while walking on anybody. It's, oh God. That lady hit me and took off too, and it just pisses me off. That's a whole nother story though. But those 2 little scars, I get those filled in with filler. And somebody was asking me about filler. I use Juvederm, and the reason why I use Juvederm above all else is because Juvederm is a thicker gel. It's all hyaluronic acid based products that they use, that the fillers are, which is naturally found in your skin. It's found collagen, collagen, hyaluronic acid, all that kind of combines together. That's what makes your skin kind of feel firm. And that's why when we're younger, our skin is a lot firmer. As we get older, those bands kind of break and kind of just break down. Just with time, anything. You put a t-shirt out in the rain, you know, it's going to sag to the ground eventually. It's like our face. Not to the ground, but you know what I mean. I love this thing. This saved my life. I smoked for 30 years. This is a Drake. If you guys ever wonder the mod, here's a battery mod, whatever you want to call it. It is the Drake mod. And if you are in Orlando, O-Town Vapes has these. And this is a new tank that's out. It's the mesh tank. And I'll tell you what, if you use these things and you like flavor, you don't like that burnt kind of, you want that real fresh flavor, like every time you put oil in, this thing is like incredible. I leave coils in here for weeks at a time, which I'm not been able to. But anyway, back to the hyaluronic acid. I used to get Riesling. Just the regular Riesling, however you say it. I used to get that one, and that is a thinner product. And I found that I was having to redo it every 3 months, 2 to 3 months, and it just it was like $450, $500. No. So I tried the Juvederm. Juvederm is more expensive. It's $600 for the same. One syringe is like 1 ml and one whatever. It's about a half of a teaspoonful, but that's a lot when you're putting it under your skin and in small areas. I get 1 syringe worth. Most of it goes into the top, just above my top lip, into these lines and these scars right here. A little bit goes in to fill my top lip, and if there's anything left, it goes into mainly just this side. I don't worry about this side. I get it right in here. If you guys have seen me after I've had my injections done, you'll see I have up here, I always get a bruise right here, and I always get one usually right there. But right in these areas, I tend to bruise. But if you're thinking about doing it, definitely research. Talk to people you know. Find somebody in your area that's got, you know, injections done. A good place to find them is like if they have a MAC counter there, makeup counters, hairdressers. I mean, anybody that's in like the beauty industry will tend to know a lot about these. So I'm not stopping for this lane. It had just turned yellow. I didn't want it, I promise you. Anyway, talk to somebody you know. Make sure to look at their videos. Make sure, not their videos, but their pictures. Find somebody that does, if you want your lips done, find somebody that does lips the way you want your lips. You know, if you see their pictures and go, oh, well, that looks okay, but that's not what I want. I want it more like that. Find somebody that does that. Everybody has their own little take on things. Just like going to a hairdresser. Every hairdresser cuts hair different. I mean, it's just, you find somebody you feel comfortable with. I am extremely claustrophobic. And if somebody gets in my face like this, I'm like freaking the hell out. I've walked into a place, I was going to get my lashes done. I was going to get a lash lift, you know, where it's like a permanent of your lashes. And I was going to get my lashes dyed. I can't do it. I can't lay there with my eyes closed with somebody in my face. I couldn't do it. I laid down, closed my eyes, and told her, no, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Sorry, I'm too claustrophobic. She put me in this little tiny room. It's hot. There's a lot of factors with it. But a lot of times, if you're comfortable with somebody, you can get beyond all those other things and be able to get past it, be able to do it. I've actually found 2 lovely people here in town that do it very well. The one that did the Riesling on me, she was very good, but she did things a little different than how I wanted. Her style was a little different. So I went to another place. I go to a place now that it's called Aesthetic Lane. If you're in Orlando, you can look them up. I will do a before and after video, but I don't do videos where I'm going to take a camera in the office and film doing it. I don't believe in doing that. I don't believe in sharing, you know, medical type things like that, you know. That it's taking the camera into a doctor's appointment. I don't do that. There's a girl on here that she films everything she does. There's a lot of them. The HIPAA laws, doctors don't like to do that. For one, they don't know who's watching it. Legally, it's a shitstorm, you know. I don't know. I don't like people to see that side of me. Anyway, it's too much for me to pay attention to. Trying to film and try to keep myself calm and you know, get through this. It is painful. It's if you've been to the dentist and you've gotten injections. If you've ever had injection in the roof of your mouth, that is like the worst pain I've ever felt in my face. It's nothing like that. I think that the injections that dentists give you are a lot worse because the first, maybe second injection is the only ones that will hurt because it has a numbing agent in it. And they put a little numbing cream on you anyway to get you through the first couple of pokes. Once they get it in there, you know, and it starts, you know, usually she'll do the first one and wait a minute and let it numb up and then finish. You feel 1 poke on each side. And that is mainly because how your nerves are set up. If you ever look at the nerves in the human body, different nerves affect different areas, and when they're actually numbing you, they're numbing that nerve. They're numbing that nerve ending because the nerve ending is what makes you feel pain. Now you have one side and one, you know, there's two different sides, so you have to numb each side. But anyway, I'm almost at my appointment, and I love chit-chatting with you guys. I'm going to look for that picture and try to put that up. I want to make that my thumbnail. I think that would be cool. My grandfather had the coolest birthday, 777. 7/7/1907. He would have been over 100, oh, 110, 111 now. Jesus. Wow. You know, I feel like it was just yesterday when he's here, and my grandmother too. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.